Everybody, Kim with Storytime Soap Shop. Welcome back. Today we're going to get started on our Christmas products. So the first one we're going to make for this video is a Christmas soap. It's going to be a high top soap. And the fragrance is a wonderful deep Christmas fragrance. It's got some cinnamon notes in there, some greenery notes in there. It's a really warm fragrance I found, and it doesn't discolor, which I'm really excited about. So enough chatting, let's go make some soap. Alright, we start by pouring the lye water into our oils. Everything's room temperature, which is especially important, I find, when working with fragrance oils you've never worked with before. Okay, we blended this up just to emulsification, and now we're going to separate into our containers. Okay, into our big bucket we are going to add some titanium dioxide that has been mixed with a little warm distilled water. And into my other two buckets, we're going to add some really red mica. If I can get it to over here. And now I'm not adding 2 tablespoons. My container's just getting near empty. And some green vibrance. Okay, we're going to give these a blend, and then we'll put in our fragrance oil. And just like movie magic, they're all blended up. So we're going to go ahead and stir in our fragrance oil by hand, since this is a new fragrance oil and we don't know if it's going to accelerate, and we want time to make that pretty drop swirl. First, we're going to put in a significant amount of the white, because I don't want this to be too complicated of a drop swirl here. I really want those Christmas colors to stand out. And since we're going to be piping, I will go ahead and scrape out my bucket here, and we'll be right back. Okay, now we are going to mix this up by hand just a little bit, keep it fluid, and in goes the red. Working in a tight space here, so a lot easier to do without the camera. And we'll scrape this one out, and we'll grab the green. Alright, we're back, and if you've watched my channel before, you know we've talked about how sometimes the greens will kind of morph a little bit, and then as the soap saponifies, it comes back. So I'm not really worried. This turned more into an alpine green, which is fine for Christmas, even if it did stay that way, but it won't. Alright. And I'm dripping a little bit, but that's not too bad. Scrape out our buckets, we'll mix up our piping, and then we will be right back. Okay, all I'm doing here is taking a spoon because this is a little thick, and just kind of forcing a swirl. I'm not convinced that drop swirl came through. I want my colors to stand on their own, but I also do want to make sure that I have a nice swirl in there. So we're going to give this a tap, mix up our piping, and we'll be right back. I'm still working on getting you guys at a good angle to see the piping. It's kind of hard to do. We do have a small workspace, which is plenty to work in, but to film in, not quite so good. So what I'm doing here is just putting 3 little dollops all the way across, and then we'll come back and we'll put 2 and then 1, just to create a nice little snow peak in the soaps. And it doesn't look all that impressive when you first start piping, but as the soap sets up and gets a little thicker and we build upwards, you'll see kind of how this takes shape. Little air pocket there. You know, I think about this time of year, it goes really fast from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas, and people get really stressed out. Be it financial stress, stress from your family, what are you going to do, whose house are you going to go to, and it really just kind of undoes the spirit of the holidays, because it's supposed to be about being thankful, being together. Maybe it's, for you, it's getting through another year. If you face difficulties, looking forward to the beginning of the new year and a new start. And I really just think we put way too much importance on the commercialism, which is funny since I'm eating Christmas soap. And I recognize that, but I also realize that, you know, there's more to life than worrying about. I mean, I'm 42. I know who I am. I don't have the best camera voice. I don't have the best hair. I'm not the greatest at makeup. But I make products that make people feel good. That's something you can use to relax, to take care of your skin. That's not the same old boring fragrances that you buy at one of the big box stores. You know, it's something fun. You know, this isn't a dollar store item, and I get that. Some people can't afford to pay $4.50 for a bar of soap. Even though their soap makes their skin miserable, they're willing to deal with that to get a dollar store bar of soap or a Walmart bar of soap. And that's okay too. I've been there. I've done that. I was a single mom for a while with a baby that had to have special, expensive formula. And, you know, I lived on ramen noodles and oatmeal. I did what I had to do. That's why our soaps, when they're out of season, or if they've been hanging around for a while, we donate to an organization here in town, the PAC Center, which kind of helps people when they're down and out. And, you know, I mean, they do meals, but the stuff I donate is something that, you know, when you're struggling to pay your bills, you wouldn't have the cash necessarily to buy for yourself. And sure, I could shred them up and repurpose them, rebatch them, and financially that would probably be the best decision for me and my business. But my daughter and I sat down when we realized that, you know, some bars of soap are going to sell really fast, and some of them aren't going to be quite so popular, and we'll have some extras left over. So we looked around at the different shelters and Salvation Army, and we just decided that for us, we knew what it was like to struggle, and we knew what it was like to be poor, and we thought, you know, it might sound silly, but that extra little something special at the end of the day for somebody who can't afford that $5 coffee, you know, cup of Starbucks, it would make a big difference to them. Sorry, that's I listen to audiobooks while I work. So my Bluetooth speaker's going off. So now what we're going to do is give this a spritz of some alcohol. That just helps. I need to refill my bottle here. The alcohol, there's natural salts that form when you're making, when the lye mixes with the oils, creates the soap. Sometimes there's extra salts that are made. Those come up to the top, and all the rubbing alcohol does is seal that up so that the soda ash does not come through. It's completely harmless. Rinses right off. It's just not very pretty. So in order to avoid that, we just give it a spray with some rubbing alcohol, which kind of kills the wonderful Christmas fragrance we got going on in the shop. And then we're going to give it a little shake here. This is biodegradable glitter, no plastics. Nothing to harm the plumbing or the sewage. Just some nice sparkle to give it a nice shimmer. We will be back to cut the soap and show you the inside tomorrow. Alright, we are back the next day to cut our Christmas soap. Yeah, because yesterday I shot the making.
Oh.
So today we cut it. I'll show everybody what the inside looks like. First we just cut a little sliver off the end.
That's nice. Can I try?
Here's the first bar. We'll go in a little bit farther. That's just the end piece.
Look how skinny it is.
And you can see the swirl. We got the nice, I don't know if the glitter's showing up on the
Can I cut it?
camera. Yeah, hold on one second.
Okay.
But we did end up getting a nice drop swirl on there. And this definitely smells like the Christmas I remember growing up. Go ahead and go slow. There you go. Like cutting cheese.
I don't cut cheese. I get it in slices already made for me.
You forgot to show the people at home what that bar looks like. There you go. Alright, so these will be on our website. Here in a few weeks I will post when the release date is. And they will also be in our December subscription boxes. So if you like our video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you.